Welcome to Keeping Ag Real, the leading podcast in the Farm and Rural Ag Network. I'm today's guest host, Brooke Clay. You might see me online as Rural Gone Urban, and I am here today with your fearless host, but today's guest, Jenny Zweigert. Jenny, welcome to your podcast.
Welcome. I don't know if I would say I'm the leading podcast.
Oh, no, I said that.
Okay. All right.
Retweets are my own.
All right. So for the rest of you in the network, you can talk to Brooke.
That's fine. If you have some beef, invite me on your podcast. We'll give it a go there, too.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Jenny, today is a special day.
It is.
Someone has a birthday.
You're right. The Keeping Ag Real podcast is 1 year old today.
Oh, man. In toddler terms, that means we are about to start walking. We have a few words under our belt, and we have a strong opinion on what our favorite snacks are.
Oh, yes, definitely. Very strong opinion.
All right, so I want to know, as we get this started, I want to know what your favorite things are. So we're going to go into rapid fire questions.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to either ask a question, you answer, first thing on your mind, whatever comes first.
Okay.
Okay, you can do this. I believe in you.
Okay.
Favorite movie?
The Proposal.
Ooh, okay. What song plays when you plug your phone into your car?
Pink, The Right Kind of Wrong. I don't think that's the right title, but you got it.
Okay. East Coast, West Coast?
West Coast.
Guilty pleasure?
Carmelo, chocolate with caramel inside.
What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Steak and Shake.
Well, you know what? I was not expecting that, but I do appreciate a solid Steak and Shake. Okay. All right. Okay. I see you, Midwest girl. I'm a fan.
It's better than McDonald's.
Oh, I mean fresh, never frozen. Drake or Meek Mill?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's okay. I kind of threw that one out there for Jessica, who's not joining us today, but who has serious FOMO that she is not guest co-hosting with me today. So I think that, I know, I miss her. She's cooler than I am, so really you're getting the short end of the stick.
No, you guys are equally cool.
No, man. I'm just excited that you're having me here today. This is great.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
This is my first time on this side of the microphone.
And this is my first time on this side of the microphone, in the ag world at least.
Wow. Well, let's just transition right into who you are, Jenny.
Okay.
Give us the elevator speech of, who's Jenny Zweigert?
I'm me, myself, and I. I am a mom of 3 very crazy, rambunctious boys, a wife to an equally crazy, rambunctious husband. We have sheep, and we have a very small herd of Jersey dairy replacement heifers that the kids show, and that's kind of my father-in-law's, maybe you would say, obsession, but that's been kind of his guiding light through most of his farming career, is showing and doing really well in the show ring as well as in the barn. And it kind of skipped a generation. It skipped my husband. And my oldest son, actually all 3 of the boys are like, they can pick a calf out and know that it's going to do well later on in life. It's a really unique and cool thing to see. So that really keeps the kids and grandparents bonded together. I do like to show also. I'm a pretty competitive girl along the rails. And I like to hunt deer and turkey. I love to travel and go new places, learn new things. I love the podcast. I love to learn more about different people and getting to meet new and interesting people and new and interesting things that are out there in the food and ag realm. That's about it.
Well, that's a lot. So what you're saying is you are not only a boy mom, you are an agriculturalist, and you are a working stay-at-home professional.
I am. Yes, I have my own business. I do content creation and digital strategy, similar to yourself. And then I've also started doing consulting for different groups who are doing some, I guess you would call promotion or communication in the agriculture or the food industries.
So as a woman who is balancing, what advice would you have for someone who is pursuing a similar path?
Oh gosh, juggle. Go to juggling school and clown school, because you've got to have a sense of humor, and you also have to give yourself, I guess, a little grace and be okay with dropping a ball. It's about how you respond to the situation, not necessarily what that situation is. So if you want to pick that ball up and you just want to lodge it at somebody, you could do that. Or you could just throw it back in the air, you know.
So a common word that I've heard through a multitude of mediums, whether it's conversations on Twitter or Facebook group, and that word is boundaries. How do you implement boundaries into your life as a working boy mom?
So about a year ago, I made a major career change. And before that, I did not have very many boundaries. And when I made that career change and I went back to work for myself, there were several things that I changed. The first one is going to kind of sound bad, but hopefully you get it. But I made the decision that I wanted to go to bed with my husband at least 4 nights a week, meaning I wanted to go up to our bedroom and, have a little time to ourselves. And sometimes that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's just, some conversational time, and then I do have to go back downstairs and do some work. That was one boundary that I implemented. Another boundary is setting time aside for our family. We've never actually taken a family vacation, just the 5 of us by ourselves, and hopefully we will do that this summer in conjunction with a wedding. So we will spend a little time with some family, but then the rest of it's going to be our time exploring and traveling. Both my husband and I love to travel, and we want to give that bug to the kids as well. So like yourself, I get pretty driven when I do start working, and it's hard to get me to break away from that. In the mornings, I get up early, but I've got to get the kids on the bus and on their way before I can start working. Otherwise, I am not giving them the attention and the help that they need so that they are prepared to have a good day. So I would say that's kind of the third boundary.
Well, those are 3 solid pieces of advice or / boundaries for anyone, whether you're working from home or working in an office. What does a typical day look like for you?
My younger 2 kids get on the bus about 6:45 in the morning. So once they're on the bus, though, it's time to usually go check the sheep and then get down to work. Now, with all of that said, every single day tends to be different depending on what is going on, and that's kind of the beauty of working for yourself. I think as long as you work hard and you give 120% and you are meeting the goals and expectations of your clients, that's what matters, not necessarily that you're clocked in from 9 to 5. There can be days like the last, few months we were going through lambing. So there were a lot of times where I was up in the middle of the night. So I had a lot of sleepless nights over the last few months. So it's different now. I am sleeping through the night. That changes things a little bit. And then, one of the things that I did when I made the career change is I went back to helping volunteer at schools. If I need to go and work at the book fair in the middle of the day, I go and work at the book fair in the middle of the day. But my clients also know that they may get an email at midnight. They may get an email at 1 a.m. That just shows them that, I'm still going to give them my 120%, but my family does come first.
What excites you the most about agriculture?
The neat part about our community is that it is tightly woven, whether you realize it or not. I can go out to the West Coast and sat down at a table at a conference with a gentleman who had relations that attended a church where some of our family also attended. It's just a really, really small world. And I think that when we get into arguments and things on social media, it's first a disservice to each other, but down the road, you may run into that person and you might meet that person. You might kick yourself in the butt for the way that you communicated with them on social media. I can't tell you how many people that I have met in real life after I had met them on social media, and to realize how much different they are on social media than they are in real life was really remarkable, and in some cases really crazy. And I may not have liked that person on social media, but I adore that person in real life.
That's an interesting perspective, Jenny. Who is the one person who is most unlike their social persona?
Jared McDaniels. Totally different person in real life than what I expected.
Is he?
Yes.
He's not very nice on Twitter.
He is an awesome guy. He is so nice.
All right. Well, I would say the person who, for me, is the most not the same at all, not in the ag sphere, is Clay Travis, who is a sports commentator. For the guys who might like sports who are listening, or girls, we like sports too. Clay Travis is one of the nicest people I've ever met, but man, he can stir some controversy online. It's almost an art.
It is. It is. I think it is definitely. I hope I come across as who I am online as I am in person. You can't tell that about yourself, but I can also see the reasoning by why some people are different online than they are in real life, and it may be business goals. It may be that they're more comfortable behind the screen.
Who is the most like their online persona?
I would say that it would probably be yourself or Jessica Willingham or Jennifer Campbell. You guys all are what you see is what you get. That's what I love about the three of you ladies.
Oh man, that's terrifying.
I don't have to wonder. You're going to tell it to me straight.
Fair. I would say for me, that person is Janice Person.
Okay, Janice as well. We have to add Janice to that too. Yeah.
So Janice is someone I've heard you use positive, encouraging, and K-Love-esque adjectives to describe. What would you say about her motivates you to also make waves in the ag industry?
So I think my biggest asset is my network, and I've been very fortunate and very humbled to have a lot of opportunities to meet lots of people, not just in the US and Canada, but across the globe, Germany, Belgium, Australia, that are involved in agriculture. And I guess that comes back to what I said earlier about the agriculture community is so small, and I don't think everyone out there quite grasps that and understands that. But Janice can literally fly across the world, meet someone on the street that knows someone that she knows. There's that 6-degree theory where we're all divided by 6 people, and then there's Janice Person rule. You're only divided by a couple of people. It's really remarkable the number of people she has touched throughout her life, and not just people who are like herself. I mean, she is really raring to find people who are different than herself and to be inquisitive and understand them and understand where they're coming from with some of their opinions and thoughts in life. So she's kind of an idol, I guess.
Well, as today's elected official, it is my job on behalf of your constituents to ask the hard-hitting questions. So in line with that, Jenny, tell me, what are some obstacles that you face every day? We all have some. We want to know, what are yours?
So my biggest struggle is probably, and not everyone knows this, I've only been pretty open about it here in the last couple of years, but I have Crohn's disease. I've actually had it for 23 or 24 years. Every day is different, not just because of the schedule or my work or my kids, but it's also different because my body and the Crohn's disease will do what it wants, when it wants, if it wants. Haters are going to hate, Crohn's is going to Crohn's. That just happens to be my struggle. I think everybody in life has struggles. No one struggle is more important than another. It's just what I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So I would say that's probably the biggest challenge. Not only myself, but also for my family. My family, they're troopers, to live with me, but they're also living with the disease as well. But we still make it through and still can be positive. My goal is to have more good days than bad days.
That's all we can ask for as humans, right? We just got more than 500. Hit more than 500? Which one is it?
See, here's a problem that Brooke and I have is she talks in college basketball language, and I talk in professional Major League Baseball language. And I don't think either of us know very much about the other.
You're right. I'm over here excited that this is going to air after March Madness is over, and I'm still in March Madness, and you are in baseball season has arrived.
Heck yeah.
We are in some serious overlappage right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for opening day at Busch Stadium, St. Louis Cardinals, Cardinal Nation.
So that's your team. That's the flag you're going to carry, the Cardinals?
Oh, heck yeah. I have for 15 years now. Before that, and I've been called lame before for this, but before that, I grew up in a very, very dedicated Cub family, very dedicated. Their dogs are named Cubby or Wrigley. Their wedding cakes had Cubs all over them. I mean, we're talking dedicated people here. So when our first son was born, I decided that I was going to convert. And the reason I did that was so that our kids wouldn't be confused and have to decide between mom and dad. But also, let's look at the history. I guess they've won 2 World Series in the last 100 and God knows how many years.
Whoa. So you're saying you just rate converted to make it easier for your children? Like, that was a sword you did not need to fall on, but to each their own. Good for you.
It may seem lame to a lot of people, but the outcome has been hilarious and I love it. Most of my family is not on social media. I'm the oldest of, gosh, how many cousins? Of all of the cousins, I am the oldest. They are not on social media, which was kind of mind-blowing. We all have group texting. And so group texting when the season starts till the end is absolutely hilarious. And then my family that's out in Colorado, they've become dedicated Rockies fans. So texting on nights that the Rockies or the Cardinals or the Cubs are playing keeps us all together. So it's really kind of cool.
Color me impressed. Just this past week, I was in Phoenix, and I went to the last spring game of the Cactus League, and it happened to be the Cubbies and the Royals. And I sat in the Cubs section right behind home plate, and I'm going to tell you something. Those Cubs fans are the happiest people I have ever been around. So for you to switch teams, good for you.
I don't know. I'll have to disagree with that. I still think Cardinal fans are happier, not as resentful.
Okay.
I'm going to be getting some DMs on that.
Well, Jenny, as we wrap up today, that was too sports announcer. I'm going to try this over. Well, Jenny, as we wrap up today, I want to know, as we go into the terrible twos, it is the terrible twos, the second year, I want to know, where are you headed? What are your 3 goals for this year? What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to be on your podcast? This is your opportunity. We can invite anyone you want. We will do a full social media blitz.
People will probably be like, why does she want to talk to that person? But I'm going to say Oprah. She has a lot of different ways of thinking and a lot of different ways of viewing agriculture and food. Those are some of the people I want to talk to and I want to get to know. I guess it follows along the Janice Person rule. I want to be inquisitive and I want to learn more and understand more. But as far as goals,
Whoa, hold on a second. Hold on. You need to back up the coop on this one. So you're saying, of all the humans in the whole world, you want Oprah on this podcast?
Oprah or Mike Rowe, yeah.
All right, well, Oprah or Mike Rowe, this is your official invitation. You are formally invited to join Jenny Zweiger on Keeping Ag Real, the leading podcast of the Farm and Rural Ag Network.
Disclosure, I did not say leading. Brooke said leading.
This is a soundbite. I need you to slice that off. We're going to put it out, and we are going to get Oprah on this show.
Okay.
All right, back to the drawing board. Hit me with 2 and 3.
So, goals. So I've started blogging again, mostly as an extension of some of the interviews. I like to try to keep the interviews down, but there's also so much information and so many really cool things about different people that I want the rest of the world to know about. So I've added blogging to Keeping Ag Real. So it's not necessarily just a podcast anymore. It's a podcast and a blog. Just don't go there right now because I was hacked this week and I'm still working on getting everything back up to, I've never been hacked before. I was hacked. So I'm getting it back up and fully restored. The second goal is vlogging, which I started experimenting with this past fall, and I did a vlog with one of our neighbors who's a pumpkin farmer. Illinois is the leading food-grade pumpkin producer in the country. I really I'm a pro pumpkin person, and our pumpkin farmer friend isn't very social media savvy, so he kind of uses me as his conduit and his channel to get his story out there. Extending the blogging a little bit more, definitely getting into the vlogging, and just, getting new and different perspectives out there, agriculture for our community, so that we understand where people are coming from when they've got their opinions and they are, dead set on something. Instead of arguing with them, really trying to find out what is behind that. Why are they so set on that? Who gave them that information? Where did that information come from? It's important for me to have the truth and the facts. That's the whole premise behind Keeping Ag Real. Let's keep it real. Let's find out where these things come from. There's all kinds of statistics that people ramble off in the news, the media, online, wherever. but so many times there's no resource or reference to where that information came from. So I have one other major goal that has to be accomplished in 2018. Absolutely has to be accomplished. And it is somewhat related to podcasting, but much more related, I guess, to ag in general and ag community. One of my oldest, I shouldn't say oldest, but longest standing friend in social media is Meg Kumaro, who lives in Australia. She has sent groups over here to me. I've sent groups over there to her. We have yet to meet in person, and we've been friends for 5.5, 6 years now. Our goal is to meet in person this year. Anybody out there would like to help with that dream goal? Please let me know. I don't care if I go there or if she comes here. We need to meet in person.
Well, I think that's an excellent goal, Jenny, and I think you're right. I think there might be someone who is listening to this podcast right now who might be able to sponsor this. So if you're out there, listener, and you're ready to sponsor a trip to Australia, I have just the girl who is ready to take her podcast international. Jenny, you'd be game for that, right?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Oh, man. Well, I think you have a lot of things in store for you in year 2 of keeping ag real, and I'm excited to go back to the listening side of this equation.
Well, thank you very much. How do you want to wrap it up? I'll let you continue with that part of the job role. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Make sure you plug
part
yourself.
of my job description. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you, constituents, for listening to Keeping Ag Real, the leading podcast of the rural and what is it? I said it wrong. My gosh, let's add one more ag word into this. Who made that up? I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
Three individuals made that up, and they're the 3 individuals that I really actually need to thank, and that's Rob Sharkey, Wendell Shum, and Tim Hamrich, because the 3 of them, without their support, Keeping Ag Real would not be here.
Oh.
And I'm still learning. We are all still learning, and that's, podcasting is not easy. It's not an easy thing. You just kind of got to keep going at it. And so there's lots of new podcasts out there, and I just encourage everybody to go out and listen to as many people as possible.
All right, I got this. I think take 4 is what it's going to take to get this and bring it all together. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, this was Keeping Ag Real with your guest host, Brooke Clay. You can follow me online at Rural Gone Urban. This has been Jenny Zweigert joining us as today's guest, and we are so excited that you are supporting the Rural and Ag Ranching, Science, Food, Agriculturalist Network. We're excited you're here. Did I add them all in?
Yes, thank you.
I think they're going to like it.
Yeah.
We should make these modifications. I really, really believe it's going to help us get trending a little faster.
Yeah, I will have FranBot contact you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm here to serve.
You're on the case.
Well, it's been real, Jenny, and I hope you have a tremendous birthday party for this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Brooke. I appreciate it greatly, and thank you to everyone who listens, especially.